Hey guys, welcome to or back to my channel. There are a ton of flies in my van and it is currently thundering, so it might start raining and I might have to close the door, but I thought I would answer some questions that I have gotten asked recently. I have them written in my journal. I kind of categorize the questions, and the first category is my relationship with Tori, dating women, being gay, coming out, long distance, all of that stuff. So the first one is, how did you and Tori meet? And we met through mutual friends. They've been on this channel, Taylor and Emery. Taylor worked with Tori actually, like years ago, I think. Oh yeah, I felt a raindrop through the sunroof, so it is gonna start raining. But Taylor met Tori, they worked together, and Taylor always had this massive interest in Tori, really wanted to be friends with Tori, and she would talk about Tori when we traveled together. And Tori actually has a YouTube channel, and Taylor was showing us videos from her YouTube channel and was like, look, like, this girl is so cool, all this stuff. I didn't think that much of it just hearing her. I was like, oh, okay, cool, there's somebody that she wants to get to know. And then she started hanging out with her in Austin while I was there. And Taylor invited me over to her house while Tori was there, and Emery was also there, and I came, and yeah, I don't know, the rest is kind of history. I just felt very attracted to her very immediately, like her energy, but also romantically and sexually. Then I kind of like asked her on a date that could have not been a date, like it could have been friendly, but we both kind of knew it was like something, like we were both like, I don't know, excited, and we got tattoos together and we drank, and then we just kind of started, like, we flirted a lot. We got drinks and everybody knew we were flirting. The waitress came over to us and was like, yeah, I was gonna come over earlier, but you guys were like having a moment or something. So I was pretty drunk that night though, and we came back to the van, and I think we were just kind of like, I don't know, just flirting a lot, and we did have sexual tension. And she said, we have sexual tension, and apparently I didn't say anything and I just paused. But in my head, like the next day when I was sober, looking back on the night, I thought that she immediately said, we have sexual tension, we should just be friends. But in reality, she said, we have sexual tension, and I didn't say anything, and then she got nervous and was like, what, but we should just be friends? Like, just, I don't know. So I thought she friend-zoned me, and she thought that I friend-zoned her. But after that, we were texting novels to each other, and I don't know, like, for I think a month after that, because I wasn't super close to where she was. I was like an hour away, or maybe even close to 2 hours away. So we were texting novels each day about everything, like our upbringing and what we would do if we were stranded on an island, and what we would bring, and our like political ideologies and our beliefs on veganism or like spirituality or the world. And I don't know, it was so refreshing for me. I hadn't connected with anyone the way I connected with her, and we had so much in common. And for the first time in a long time, I felt totally understood and seen and heard, and I felt like she was so similar to me. And I don't know, I was just like so obsessed. And then her birthday came around, and her and Emery were celebrating a joint birthday. There was a big snow day in Texas, and I was like, I don't know if I can drive there. Like, I know that it's going to be super snowy and I might get in a wreck, and I don't want to crash the van. Like, it's my home. So I actually thought I wasn't going to go, and that would have been the next time I saw her. And she was like, I'll come get you. And at that point I was like, okay, she likes me, because it was like an hour and a half away, and I was like, okay, she definitely likes me, I think. Like, I don't feel like it's not a friendly thing to go pick someone up, and we've been texting novels every day. Like, I don't know. So when she came, we were both just so flirty and like nervous. Like, I could kind of tell both of us were nervous, but we were just like touching a lot. And then we went back to Taylor's, and a bunch of girls were sleeping over, and I like said happy birthday to Emery, hung out with all these other girls, but I kept just like wanting to be with Tori. And then everybody else fell asleep, but Tori and I both weren't tired. I think we were just like really excited about being able to spend time with each other. And yeah, we were very touchy again. And I wanted to kiss her so many times, and I wanted her to kiss me so many times, but we literally just like touched and cuddled, like, and never crossed that line the whole night. Like, we stayed up, we pulled an all-nighter, and we were just flirting. We like jammed out to Adele, we played on the ukulele, and just spent the entire night together talking. And yeah, I was so in love with her. I wanted her to kiss me so bad. I wanted to kiss her so bad, but my heart was beating so fast. I felt like I couldn't. Like, I was so intimidated by Tori, kind of, more than I ever have been with anybody else in my life. Like, I would think so much, like, this is your time, like, kiss her. And I was like, I can't do that. Like, I just can't. And then at that point, I totally knew she had a crush on me, but Emery actually validated it. And like, while Tori was in the shower, Emery was like, yeah, do you and Tori have a thing? Like, Tori said she has a crush on you. And I was like, yeah, I actually have a crush on her too. And I don't know, it was like cute hearing that. I kind of felt like I was in high school again. Like, I haven't really felt like that in a very long time. So at that point, I knew she was really into me. And so I asked her to hang out like a few days later. And we just like went on a hike, and she kind of asked like what I was doing that night and if I wanted to sleep over. And I was like, okay, this is the night, like, we're hooking up. And yeah, we just like flirted all day, had a really great day with Zeus. We hung out with Zeus. That was the night. We slept together. And I know that the question was, how did you and Tori meet? And I kind of just went on a rampage, but hopefully you've enjoyed that. So, do you have plans to stop long distance with Tori? As in Tori moving into the van. So no, we don't have plans for Tori to move in the van, and I don't think Tori will ever move in this van. I've thought a lot, about like traveling with someone in the van full time, and I don't think it's something I really desire. I have traveled for long periods of time with someone else who lives in a van, and even that can become too codependent. Like, I don't have my own life, I don't have my own space, and I don't think it's healthy for a relationship. That being said, I'm sure there are people who live in one space, it's healthy for them, but for me, I think one of my priorities within a relationship is to have my own individuality and my own like sense of self and my own friends and my own life, and for my partner to also have that. And if you're living in the same car, you're not going to. Your lives are eventually going to enmesh so much where anytime you want to hang out with your friend, it's going to be with your partner. Anytime you want to do anything, it's going to be with your partner. So that's not something I really desire. That being said, long distance is so difficult, and it has been so hard for me. And Tori too. It's just so hard to be apart from the person you love, and I do plan to stop being long distance with her. Hopefully soon, like within the next year. She's actually thinking about building her own van, and we can like travel together but still have that sense of individuality and have our own lives. And I think that's the plan right now, and I'm really like, I can't look forward enough to that. And then within the next year, like within the next 6 months, I think I'm going to go to Austin where she lives and spend some time there, because like I said, long distance has been really hard. I've missed Tori so much, and I have the capability to be anywhere in the country, so why would I not be with the person I love and where she is? So I think we'll probably be spending more time together these next few months, hopefully. The biggest tip for a healthy long distance relationship, I do think Tori and I's relationship is very healthy. At least by my standards, it's the healthiest relationship I've ever been in. And I think long distance has been a challenge, definitely, but overall, I think we've handled it well. Tori and I are very good at communicating together, and so that has been probably the biggest key to a healthy relationship for being long distance, especially, is that we just make a priority to communicate with each other. That being said, we also don't communicate too often, in my opinion. Like, I don't want to be in a relationship where I'm communicating so often that I'm not present, and I definitely have my own life and she has her own life, and we're present within our realities. We're not talking 24/7, but we definitely talk every day. We usually FaceTime every day, but sometimes we'll go like a little bit without FaceTiming because I might be in a campsite without service, or she might be doing something on a family trip, or at the beach or something like that. So there have been times where we don't FaceTime every day, but I feel like usually we're FaceTiming like every day. And the other thing is being conscious of each other's love languages. So Tori's love language is physical touch, and I obviously can't offer that when I'm not there. So whenever we're not together, I personally try to make a conscious effort to show love in the various other love languages I can. Namely, I would say words of affirmation, and that's my number one love language, so it comes naturally to me. And for Tori, that's like her second, or it's like high up for her. So words of affirmation come very easily to us, and we're always reaffirming each other and like sharing how much we love each other through words, which makes me just like feel the love even when she's not here. So I think that is really helpful, but overall it's really hard and it's really shitty, and I just think that's the reality of it. So does your family know about your relationship with Tori and vice versa? So yes, Tori's entire family knows about her relationship with me. I actually just went on a family trip with them, which was so amazing. Got to know all of them on a deeper level and really like clicked and meshed with everybody. So for my family, I told my mom, and I haven't told my dad. We just don't have that much of that sort of relationship. And my mom said she hasn't told my dad, so I don't think my dad knows. I don't know if I tell him. I might just continue to avoid it because I know that he thinks being gay is a sin. I mean, not avoid it. I don't want to hide it from him, but I'm not going to like open up a dialogue for it because I'm really not in a position where I want to have a conversation about being a sin, because I personally obviously do not believe that, and I'm not going to change my mind about that. So I just don't want to argue about something that he's probably not going to change my mind. I'm probably not going to change my mind. So I don't know, we'll see how that plays out. I don't even know if he watches my YouTube videos, so if he does, he might be figuring out on this. But yes, Tori and I are dating. Her family knows, my family knows, I think. Most of them, but maybe not my dad. Any advice on dating women for someone who hasn't dated a woman before but wants to? So for me, I look very feminine. I feel like people don't assume I'm gay, so that is an added barrier. I would say if you're on any dating apps, obviously turn on the girl tick. And if you want to, I think anything to show that you're gay might be nice. I don't know, like don't go on a date with a girl wearing a like rainbow pride shirt or something, because I feel like that's a little too forward. But I have a little rainbow in my bio, and I've had it there always, and it says pride, just because I knew that people didn't know, and I'm very open about talking about it. And so I feel like I naturally have conversations with women where I'm talking about my sexuality and express that I am attracted to women, and then from there you can kind of gauge whether or not you guys have chemistry and whether or not they are attracted to women or attracted to you. And I don't know, you can kind of make hints. I think the rest kind of came naturally to me and probably will come naturally to you. I think when you meet the person, it will come naturally. It won't feel forced. That's for anybody, but that's also for dating women. So like not all women are created equal, you know what I mean? Like you will have a different connection with each woman. So you might not connect with one person, but you might connect with another girl. So leave hints out there, and then when it's the right person, it will just all feel natural. The next question is, when did you know you liked girls? For me, this was pretty early on. The first time I was really turned on was by a girl that I saw in a movie or something. And at that point, I was questioning whether or not I was lesbian. I had no idea that being bisexual was a thing, so I was like, I'm gay. I was also going to like church groups at the time, so I was like, oh my god, I'm a sinner. So I had a lot of shame with that, and I didn't release that and accept that I liked girls until like later on in high school. But I had that attraction, like as early as I was attracted to anyone, I was attracted to women. So how does it affect your relationship to be public online? So I've never been public online with any of my past relationships, And the reason why is because I didn't want it to affect those relationships. And I'm very grateful that I wasn't, because when I was going through breakups or anything like that, I didn't have added pressure of it being online. It kind of happened organically to share Tori and I's love online, because we both like sharing online. Like, we both love art and expression, and I don't know, it felt really right for me to share Tori and I's relationship, because it was something that was bringing me so much joy and felt so magical, and just like something that was making me so happy. And I feel like I'm always sharing those moments and those things online, so it felt kind of weird to be editing and filtering through and taking out moments where we were kissing. Like, in the beginning, I was editing videos and cropping out when we'd kiss or anything like that. And at some point I was like, Tori, are you okay with me just putting that stuff in and sharing that we're dating? Yeah, there were just so many moments that I wanted to share that brought me so much joy. Like, she bought me a hotel and surprised me with this hotel and had rose petals everywhere and like champagne glasses, and it was so sweet. And I really wanted to share that, but I knew that me sharing that would obviously expose that we were together. Like, no friend just gets another friend a whole hotel and puts rose petals everywhere, but it was such a sweet moment and I didn't want to hide that. Okay, it's kind of windy, so I'm gonna close this door so the audio is a little better. It hasn't really affected our relationship for it to be online, to be honest. I feel like it's been always the same. The only thing is I had to ask myself if I wanted that extra pressure. I think I do. I think it's worth it. I mean, there's so much beauty within Tori and I's relationship, and I want to share my world and my life with you guys, like, wholeheartedly, and not have to filter things out and filter out moments. So that is wrapping up questions, like relationship questions. With Tori, this kind of gets into money. The first one is, what's your current income? Right now I have a few different sources for income. I'm getting income from my YouTube AdSense. So I'm a pretty small creator, and this isn't a ton of money. I would say, like, in the past year, my monthly income from YouTube has been like $400 to $2,000 a month, depending on how many views I'm getting, really. And like $400 a month is not enough to sustain myself living in the van, so I need other sources within those months that they drop down. So some of those other sources are sponsorships. With sponsorships, I choose like 2 or 3 each month, and I would say I make like maybe $600 on average each month from sponsorships, which that's a really nice extra added thing. But I try to be very conscious of the sponsorships I take on. I get a lot of emails and I only accept a few of them because I want them to be vegan, I want them to be sustainable, I want them to be in alignment with my beliefs, and I want it to be a brand I feel like I can really support genuinely. I get income from my website. I have some Amazon affiliate links. Not the biggest fan of Amazon, so I don't know, I kind of thought of whether or not I want to do this, but I do have Amazon affiliate links. Yeah, we'll see if I continue to do that. But with that, people, if they're going to buy something through that link, I get a commission on that. And then in my website, I also have jewelry that I sell, and I have picture painting and stuff like that. A few hundred each month from that. I'm trying to think if there's another one. Oh, I just started a Patreon, so that's kind of taking off, and that's like a monthly membership where you can get access to exclusive videos I have just on there. I have like different things where I give out. I'm going to be giving out crystals that I've mined and just shipping them out to different people who are members. And I have some recipes. So I have different membership things, and that's just another way you can support me if you would like to. I would really appreciate that. I use all of my money to travel, basically, create more content, get gear for content, doing animal rights activism, and yeah, stuff like that. So somebody asked, are you monetizing your Instagram? Any tips for someone trying to build their account? So like I said, I get money off of all those different ways. Instagram isn't a part of that. Like, other than sponsorships, I get money off sponsorships, I guess, and I'll post on Instagram and get money from the brand. But no, I'm not monetizing my Instagram. Tips for building your account. I can share with you how I built my account. And I kind of treat my Instagram as like a personal journal. I feel like I'm very vulnerable on there. I'm definitely sharing different thoughts I'm having. Sometimes I'll take a direct journal entry and just put it in a caption. And I think writing out something where someone can identify to you is so helpful, because I feel like Instagram is such a big space. There's so many people doing so many things. There's so many people doing van life, so many people doing photography, so many people in fitness accounts. So something to set you apart and make people resonate with who you are and why you're different and unique to everyone else trying to do whatever is in your niche. I think that is really beneficial. So getting someone to identify with your why and who you are. And then I feel like people always say this, but finding some sort of niche at all. For me, I feel like I have a lot of niches. I guess I'm a very niche person by default, but they are van life, LGBTQ plus, veganism, I think are the main ones. Just be yourself and be real and authentic, and then you'll cultivate people following you who genuinely love you for you if you are yourself online. Is it cheaper to live in a van? Can you just park anywhere and stay there for a bit? Yes, absolutely. For BLM and national park land, you can park and stay for up to 14 days. So I'm on BLM land right now. I've been here for 2 days. I haven't filmed at all here. I've just been taking some alone time and regrounding and all of that stuff. There are so many flies in here. It is definitely cheaper to live in a van. And I would say my expenses on a monthly basis run from $1,000 to $2,000. I'm very frugal. So not only is it cheaper to live in a van just by default, but I am an extremely frugal person. I'm always like buying the cheapest produce at the grocery store, or at least trying to, and using Gas Buddy to find the cheapest gas, and just being very conscious of money. And then I have people travel with me sometimes and we split gas, so that cuts down expenses as well. I wrote one time in my journal that I spent $500 a month, and I don't know if it's a fluke and I was missing things, but in my journal I calculated all my expenses for the month and it added up to $500, so I don't know. Next question is, what is the best job you've found on the road? And I would say the job that I have right now, which is working for myself, selling jewelry, making videos, doing the things I love and making money off it. I feel like that's always been my dream, is to make money doing something that I love, not working for someone else. I've never liked to be under someone else's authority. I've always liked to have freedom in every single facet and in a career as well. And so I've always had this dream of like working for myself and making money doing art and something that I love. And for that, I feel so grateful. It really is my dream job. But in the past on the road, I've worked at weed farms and stuff like that, and I've sold paintings too, and I've always sold jewelry and stuff. When are you making more jewelry? I have jewelry on my website right now, so if you want to check that out, you can. It is www.sarahyak.art. How do you keep creating without being exhausted? Thankfully, I love creating, so I don't get exhausted often. I genuinely love it. It's my passion, so I want to do it most of the time. There are times where I get exhausted from it. In the times that I get exhausted, I just don't film and I don't edit. Thankfully, I have leeway where I don't need to edit. I post every Saturday, but I schedule out my videos, and I usually schedule them out far in advance. So I have a month where I already have 4 videos that are going to post every Saturday, and they're scheduled, so I don't even have to press any button. I don't have to go online. I don't have to do anything. So with that system I have going, where I'm almost always ahead of track, if I want to and I'm feeling exhausted, I can just say, okay, I'm not going to film for this week or for today or for tomorrow or for however long I need until I regain that energy. And then there's no pressure because I'm already going to have videos coming out the next 4 days, or the next 4 weeks. And then somebody said, how do you deal with heat in the summertime? It is so hard. I have so many windows in here. It kind of becomes a greenhouse. I usually open up my side door and my back doors, put both my fans on, and I put reflectix in my windshield. If I need even extra AC and I'm just dying and it's so hot, I'll even close all of the doors and just run my car and just turn on my car's AC. I'll put ice packs on my body. Yeah, it's not the best system. I don't know. it's really hard. But I try to avoid the heat. How do you get started for van life? I would say create a vision board, start manifesting, start looking at van builds, make a Pinterest board and pin different van builds. Make a budget. What is your budget? Are you going to have a $10,000 van? Is it going to be $20,000, $30,000? What is your job? How much are you making a month? How many months is it going to take to get that money? How much are you usually spending? Can you cut down that spending in any area so that you can save more for your van? I think like actionable steps and goals and like daily manifestation, so you're never forgetting that goal, is really valuable. And then once you get the van, looking up on YouTube, anything that you need is such a great resource for the plumbing, for any part of the build. There's so many resources online, so that is what I would recommend for starting. But the very first step, create a vision board and start a manifestation journal, I think are two just really great ones, and like start making goals for it. The next question is, how do you keep yourself safe traveling solo as a female? I have a lot of different safety devices in here. Weapons, I have cameras on all four sides of the van. I have an alarm system with lights that flash and surround my van. The one thing I wish I did have that I don't is my lights are not motion censored, and I wish that they were, so that while I'm sleeping, if anybody even walks close to the van, they just turn on, because I think that would deter people. I don't have that, but I wish I did. So that's like the one safety feature I regret not adding. But yeah, I have plenty of safety features, and I almost never feel unsafe sleeping in the van. How and when did you know van life was for you? I would say early college, I started realizing that something along the lines of this lifestyle is for me, because I loved photography, I loved being outside, hiking, being in nature, meeting people who were in that same grain of thought and logic. At that time period, I also went vegan, and I was like learning more about food and animal agriculture and consumerism, and how some of these big industries are really unethical, and just kind of realized that I don't want to play any part of that as much as possible. Like, of course, by some default, I have to play a part in it. Everybody does. Like, it's hard to completely remove yourself from the system, but I knew I didn't want to be in it as much as I could. And if I could find an escape from it and feel some level of freedom, and yeah, that's what I wanted. And I didn't come across the idea of living in a van until later, but early college, I knew that like something like this lifestyle really appealed to me. Traveling full time and just being a nomad, living kind of with the land and not with too much, and more minimalistically, yeah, all of that stuff. What is your ethnicity? My mom is Chinese. My dad is from America, so I think he has European descent, so I'm half Chinese, half white. What gives you the most anxiety when you're on the road? Well, I can tell you this because a couple days I left Tori, and that gave me so much anxiety when I was driving. So I think when somebody I love is visiting and I'm getting used to them and they're present, just loving them, and then they leave and I'm solo again, that transition gives me anxiety. I don't experience it too frequently, so I think when I experience it, it's an amazing challenge for me to kind of ground down and honor my feelings, and just pay full attention to myself and my feelings and my presence, being present with myself and being present with all the emotions that are happening, and also just learning to adjust to some of those big changes, like someone I love, like Tori leaving. Somebody said, can you explain how you kept track on your GPS? Okay, I showed this on my Instagram, but I have Google Maps. So all I do on Google Maps is I just pin a different spot. All you have to do is hold down a spot on the GPS. It pops up a pin on Google Maps, and you press save. And then I have different categories. So I have a category for campsites. I have a category for showers, laundry, and water. I have a category for cool spots and hiking trails and rock climbing trails and rock hounding trails to find crystals. And then like good restaurants and different hot springs, just different stuff like that, different categories. And then, do you judge someone based on what they eat, whether or not they eat meat or they're vegan? No, I do not judge someone if they eat meat, because I ate meat the majority of my life. I know that most people eat meat because they grew up eating meat. Their parents ate meat, their parents fed them meat, the people around them eat animals. So It's more so of an unconscious thing. What's one thing you hope to leave the world with? I really want to inspire the world to live in a way that's more compassionate to the earth and the animals we share the world with, and ourselves and other human beings, and I think just more compassion and empathy overall, and like less greed for more and more and more that's just like hurting everything, like hurting the planet and hurting animals and hurting ourselves and others. Those are all the questions. It's getting very loud. It's starting to rain. But I had so much fun chatting with you guys. I always do. And I'll see you guys in my next video. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up because it really supports my channel. Bye!